fool.
Have you seen any of our ball games for the last month? No, last 2 weeks.
Since we last podcast?
Huh?
Since our last podcast?
Yeah, that was the start of Houston series.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the beginning and the end there. Ugh. Oh, man. You got one of those 3/4 adapters or whatever? I gotta use my earbuds.
There you go.
Thanks.
Sure. Busy day?
Not really. Just took a long time to get out of the house. Hey, you guys, Josh, remember I told you the other day, Mr. Fitzpatrick, our 6th grade teacher, was diagnosed with ALS?
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
remember something about that.
Facebook group message that Sarah Fitzpatrick started
Okay.
to tell everybody, and there's like 100 people in this thing, and this was like 3 weeks ago she started it,
Okay.
so I haven't paid any attention to it.
Right.
And then out of the blue, today there was a response from someone in that Facebook group, Bradley Cliphouse. Do you remember the Cliphouses from?
Yeah. They lived like right down the
You guys
corner from us.
carpooled,
We carpooled.
right?
Yeah.
Bradley was like,
in
he was
class.
younger. Your age or Lara's age?
No, we were friends. We were good friends. Yeah. That's
Right.
Brad
And
Cliff.
Kristen was in our class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead. He died. He died almost 2 years ago. At 30 years old, found dead in his car of an overdose.
Oh, my.
I just found that out today with the Facebook group because it's actually his sister Kristen
Right.
who runs a Facebook page in his memory, and she
Oh
replied
my
something
gosh.
about, oh, we're praying for Mr. Fitzpatrick and stuff like that. And I started
So then you started clicking through, checking her
Holy
out.
crap.
We played Tecmo Super Bowl all the time together when we were
Yeah.
kids growing up.
Yes, that was crazy.
That's
We
weird.
played wiffle ball together. Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
That's insane.
Hey, Noah, check your mic.
Check.
My two close
All right.
friends back then were Bradley Cliphouse and Matt Pauley.
Yep.
Matt Pauley watches this every once in a while. He writes something.
Yeah. As soon as I put the new store up without the logo shirts, and he texts, "Why aren't the logo shirts there?" So I put up the logo shirts. Not that he's gonna buy one, but I put them back there.
He's just keeping up on us.
Yeah. That's all it
The
is.
principle thing.
Oh, see, the Trumbo shirts turned out nice.
Oh, nice.
And what we are getting is we're getting Facebook likes because of the Trumbo shirt, which is nice.
Sweet.
Hopefully, then they check out the podcast.
Oh, why is Mark Trumbull so bad against lefties? Starting in FanDuel, too. If I would have known those numbers, I would never start him in FanDuel. 195 against lefties. You want to sit around till 8 to start the show? Or you want to start now?
I'm ready when you guys are.
Noah, you ready out there?
What is that? Josh, handle that.
That's Mandy. Mandy.
I like that little ring.
What it is if you lose your keys, you can press the button and it rings your keys. If you lose your phone, you tap the button and it rings your phone. But for some reason, she shared her keys with my phone, so she's probably trying to call her phone and it's calling my phone
I
instead.
got that thing too, but I never figured out how to work it.
Yeah.
It's gonna go into the whole
Let
show.
me go deal with Mandy.
Jeez, we're trying to do a freaking podcast here. Come on.
Oh man.
I gotta talk to Mandy.
You got sound?
Josh, but definitely go on the barbecue. Mandy gave me a maybe.
Uh-oh.
Something there.
Probably just that we have to go to that intern thing. No, that youth director thing beforehand. For the potential youth director.
Okay.
All right, YouTube should be up and running. Let me just bring up my sound clips. All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Helps if I hit record.
For fans, by fans. Section 336, the next generation of Baltimore sports talk.
Today on the show, the Orioles have only 2 wins since we last podcasted. We will tell you what they need to do to get back to their winning ways. And we take a closer look at 2 struggling Orioles in our first ever Jim Cramer-inspired buy-sell segment. And we also tell you what else is going on in the world of Baltimore podcasting. All that and more on this edition of Section 336.
Section 336.com. Buckle up, birds, be ready to ride. Your host, Matt Joshua Bird, are ready to fly. Baltimore's best, Section 336, the #1 sports broadcast. Get your fix. What's the news? Let's talk about Buck, our favorite Orioles. What's the latest lineup? Home runs and stolen bases. This is a trip. Stay tuned in at 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, the next generation of Baltimore sports talk. I am your endearingly stuttering host, Matt Sroka. As always, I'm joined by the intern.
You're screwing
I know,
with me.
I was just seeing if everybody's on
There's the intern.
their toes. Hey, intern.
No, I had my finger on another button.
Okay, and we're also joined by the zany Burt Rohde.
What's up, guys? What's up, intern? I didn't say hi to you on my way in. Hi.
And we have, stepping in for Josh for a little bit of tonight's show, we have a special guest in Caleb Joseph.
That's what confused me. Was I was on the button for this. I was waiting to be Caleb.
Mr. Caleb Joseph, can you talk to us about what happened in the game last night?
I believe you were at the game.
Yeah,
You saw me on my knees for a good 5 minutes.
yeah, that was pretty ugly. That was painful to watch.
It was painful to be.
I thought, don't you wear a cup back there?
Yeah, but everything, it comes off sideways. Cups are for direct protection.
So there's still some pinching possibilities.
It sounds like you got a lot more than pinched last night.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had my first son last year, so I'll be okay.
Do you prefer the term testicular injury, or do you like something involving just a groin-related injury? What terminology do you prefer? Or do you go right into the more crude terminology, which I will not say here on air?
I just hope this swelling will go down within the 15 days.
Oh, my. There's swelling involved?
It's like 4 or 5 times the size.
Oh, my gosh. That's huge. I can't wait till the ball bag segment tonight.
I just hope that this voice is recorded and we're not just hearing it in our headphones.
Oh, is that a possibility?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're also joined by the button lover, Josh Roka.
That's not going to be any funny if that voice effect does not go out into the recording.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to edit. You have to edit this whole thing out if it doesn't go in.
Yeah, if it goes out, we need to
Because
redo the whole intro.
We just like a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
But this that would happen to Caleb Joseph. I've been there before. Mentioned on the show. That's how I got my stutter. So I've been there.
Is that how you got it?
Yeah. I've been there before. So Caleb Joseph, he might come back the same person, but with a stutter. So I think just family members, teammates, beware. Caleb Joseph could now stutter after what happened to him. I've been there.
Are there details behind this injury? Are we going to get to that later? Like,
For the
how serious
Caleb
is
Joseph?
this?
Well, he's on the DL.
Yeah, that's kind of serious.
We
I
know,
know-
he went to the urologist about it.
Right.
Really?
He went
Yeah.
to the hospital last
And,
night.
and that's when they decided, okay, this is the. But there's no.
Is this
I didn't hear any specifics.
Is it possible that it's one of those involuntary vasectomies?
I mean, all we've heard is testicular injury. That's the terminology
And-
that's going around.
It doesn't
And
sound good.
testicular injury.
and there's nothing funny about it.
Yeah.
As we giggle.
Matt Weeder said, I knew Caleb was tough. That's a tough one. Whether it's as bad as Caleb got hit or not quite as severe, it still doesn't feel good. I think you don't quite know how bad it is. Unfortunately for Caleb, it was a little worse than the usual shot off the cup. But the doctors took care of everything they needed to take care of, and he'll be back soon.
He stayed in the game, right?
He stayed in the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but you got, yeah.
So it's possible, Like, it's not like his testicle exploded or something.
He may be the first female catcher.
Well, and to Buck Showalter's his quote about it was everybody tends to initially, and this is quoting Buck Showalter, everybody tends to initially, let's face it, kind of snicker some when that happens. But anybody who's had it happen, it's very serious, and we always treat it that way.
I was very proud
is.
that his teammates did not all come huddled around him when he was on the ground laughing.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what Kim was doing when he was crouched out in left field.
No, I don't think anyone, when you see that happen to another baseball player, when you see that happen to another man, like there's nothing, you can laugh about it later. But
Right.
at the moment,
No.
you feel his pain. Everyone
Yes.
feels his pain.
And you don't know how serious it is until you get to the locker room and do a visual inspection.
Are you doing the visual inspection here, Bert? Have you visually inspected
Well, that-
others?
The trip to the hospital was to cut the cup off.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my.
They needed the jaws of life. the balls of life.
But it's also
Stupid.
as a man, that's how you deal with it is you laugh about it. There's
Yeah.
no way Caleb
You'd
Joseph
laugh or you'd cry.
Caleb Joseph
Both.
is in a bunch of pain, but there's no way he's not joking about this.
I don't know if he's at the joking level right now. Just going to the 15th ADL. They might take a little bit of time.
Oh, I think you're. I don't know. I think you're pretty much at the joking level immediately.
Yeah.
You're in pain laughing about it.
Yeah. Well, the Orioles have not had much to laugh at since we last recorded. An ugly series in Houston.
Terrible. Embarrassing, if you ask me.
We win the series in Cleveland. And then
Barely.
barely, close games. Didn't play exceptionally well. And then we come home and kind of get our butts whooped, at least in the first game and 2 innings against Boston.
2 innings into the second game, we're getting our butts whooped, yeah.
Yeah, so there hasn't been all that much to cheer about, a lot to kind of cringe at. And I like to, well, what's the deal, guys? What's the change from having the best record in baseball, or the second best record in baseball, best record in the American League, a week ago or a week and a half ago, and now we have the 7th or 8th best record in baseball, and we're just not even in those games that we're winning. It seems like
We're not hitting the ball.
Shouldn't be winning those games.
No, I would say the Houston Astros exposed the Orioles for their weakness.
What's that? What's the weakness that Houston exposed? Pitching?
I would say hitting more so than pitching. Everyone knows the pitching is a bit of a weakness, but the fact, 52, 53 strikeouts in a 3-game series?
Yeah,
I mean,
was
that's
embarrassing.
downright embarrassing.
Yeah.
It set a major league record.
Oh, and that's
It's atrocious
Yeah.
against a subpar Houston pitching staff.
right. That's not Nolan Ryan pitching for Houston.
No.
And this is, I often like to bring in context to say, well, we always, since we're Baltimore fans, we watch every game, every at bat, we tend to blow things out of proportion and make them worse than they really are.
Right.
But like Bert said, we did something no major league team has ever done before.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of strikeouts. So you really can't. And it was against me, and it was against not very good pitchers, and you saw it to expose us. I think Bert's absolutely right. You saw 90% of the time we struck out, it was on a curveball. We just can't hit a curveball in the dirt, and we can't lay off a curveball in the dirt. All of our hitters.
Yeah, and crap pitchers.
Junk balls.
Don't throw fastballs at us. It's junk balls that can't get us out. We saw that yesterday with the knuckleballer.
On Memorial Day
Yeah.
against Stephen Wright. Threw his 3rd complete game, which is
Well, Steven, I mean, that's something about Stephen Wright. He's been good this year.
Right.
He's been
Sure.
really good.
He's
So
a
it's not
good-
just against the Orioles.
Yeah, he's a good knuckleballer.
But
he
the
made-
guy also has 4 losses, so obviously somebody is able to hit this knuckleball, just not the Orioles.
Yeah. We knew coming into the season that the Oriole pitching was going to be not great. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone now is making, we're going to talk about him more later in the show, but everyone's making a big deal about Ubaldo Jimenez. As if Ubaldo Jimenez is the reason we're struggling. Ubaldo Jimenez only pitches 1 out of every 5 games. He's not the reason we're playing like crap. The reason is the offense.
Right.
Right now, runs scored. Just straight runs scored. Do you know where we rank in baseball? If we want any chance of making the playoffs, winning the AL East, we need to be in the top 3 in runs scored.
Sure.
We're in all of baseball, we're 16th.
Wow.
The Nationals
Middle
are ahead
the
of
pack,
us.
Below the middle of the pack.
The Indians are ahead of us. The Diamondbacks, Pirates are ahead of us. I mean, all these teams are ahead. The Dodgers are ahead. Giants are ahead of us. All these teams are ahead of us
And that's exactly what we saw in Houston.
in runs scored.
Houston beat us with 3 runs, 4 runs, and 4 runs.
Yeah.
From a team that's supposed to be hitting home runs and scoring runs, we lost low-scoring games.
Yeah.
Your pitchers are doing pretty good if they're holding the team to 3 runs.
Yeah. And home runs, because this is what we do, right? We have gotten a team to go Dong City. We have gotten a team that hits home runs.
Yeah.
We might not be high on base percentage guys. We might be high strikeout guys, but we're going to hit some donks. Well, right now, Tampa Bay Rays have more home runs than us.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis Cardinals have more home runs than us. Seattle Mariners, more home runs. The New York Mets, more home runs. All those teams have more home runs than us.
Mm-hmm.
We're fifth. And fifth, oh, well, that's not bad. No, this is our strategy. This is how we're going to win, by hitting home runs. And if we're not first, we're not scoring enough runs. Because that's the way we score runs in this offense.
Now
Home
there
runs.
was,
And we're not doing it. We're not doing enough of it.
we got a new home run in Cleveland. Someone did hit a home run in Cleveland.
That's true.
Did you see?
잡아당겼습니다. 높게 떠갑니다. 혹시 설마 탐장 넘어갔어요. 김현수의 첫 번째 홈런이 터졌습니다. 아 그리고 점수도 다시 한번 뒤집는 홈런이 나왔.
Mark Trumbo hit a home run.
잡아당겼습니다.
No. We all know, and play the music, cue the music, Josh. We all know that the best hitter, and this is sad, this is another sad state of the Orioles, that the most professional hitter as of late
Of the week.
has been Hyun-Soo Kim, which is not a good thing. Nothing against, no offense, Hyun-Soo Kim, but he shouldn't be our best hitter.
Well, and is it a coincidence too that once he's become an everyday player, the team's record has gone down the toilet?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's it's a bunch of stuff going on there.
One mistake is, I did notice at Camden Yards, they're playing his song way too soft. This song needs to be blasted in Camden Yards.
Agreed.
People will get into it more if
If he hits more home runs.
If he ever came to plate when anything exciting was going on.
Right. Right. And then he did. He hit well, and he got on base, but he didn't have, like, this amazing week. He
No.
just showed, all right, maybe you can hang out a little bit.
He didn't strike out every time like half the other Orioles.
Right, right.
He
So the
had
fact that
professional at-bats.
He got some walks. He took some pitches.
He got that one home run in Cleveland, the go-ahead home run. Other than that, I could leave it all.
He didn't
What
do
else
much
has
in
he done?
Cleveland. He didn't do much in Cleveland.
He had that one home run.
Yeah.
Take the lead, and we won that game, fortunately.
He scored a
Just
couple,
on solo home runs.
He scored a run or two just from being on base, getting on base, working his way on, and letting the guys knock him in.
Yeah. Yeah, but if we're relying on Hyun-Soo Kim, and we knew this even going into the season, the whole point was you didn't need to rely on Hyun-Soo Kim, whether he was good or bad, because you had enough of other offensive players.
Sure.
But right now, I mean,
They're slumping big
where are
time.
you? Where are you, Chris Davis? Where are you,
Manny
Manny Machado?
Adam Jones, moving him to the top of the lineup didn't help.
Well, he's I think he's hit well in the top lineup compared to what he's done in the bottom lineup. But yeah, is that I don't know, the whole? You guys want to get into the whole lineup business? I tweeted out when I saw the new lineup.
It's gonna.
That Buck Showalter was kind of just throwing in the towel.
It I don't know about throwing in the towel, but
giving up.
But yeah, it's in the ball bag.
Like
but,
just saying, "Oh, this is silly. Let me just throw whatever out there because none of it matters anymore."
right, it's in the ball bag, but we got a lot of stuff today, so let's just get to it now. So tonight we have Adam Jones, Nolan Rymel, Manny Machado, Chris Davis, Trumbo, Wieters, Scope, Rickard, Yanish. This is like what?
Yanish.
This is the fifth different lineup we've seen in the past week.
I especially like the Rickard Yanish portion. That really
Dropping it to the bottom.
that gives me a lot of hope for the 8-9 hitters.
Do you know what Yanish is?
Yanish, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what his batting average is?
I would guess
He's played in 5 games. Who cares what his
it's
batting
around
average
100.
is?
It's around 100, I would guess.
It's 71.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
He plays, but he's there for the glove.
I guess. Oh, Hyun-Soo Kim played in 7 games and he hit 700.
He has
fair enough.
he has career 214, 7 home runs. So
Yeah,
he's
it's
not-
Why you knew coming in that that's why he started in the minors because you knew, and again you shouldn't be counting on Giannis for offense. It shouldn't matter that
No.
Giannis is hitting 71. It shouldn't matter.
No.
well, it's down the down.
We're
Yeah,
talking about it.
Well, Manny Machado's struggling, but maybe Giannis will pick us up because that's never going to
Right.
happen.
But who else? I mean, are you gonna Flaherty
You
until
shouldn't
Jason
have
Hardy's back? Gotta go in there.
fit in between the spaces the superstar. They're never going to rely on. You got superstars, and For what it's worth, they're all struggling at the same time, and it's embarrassing.
For the record, Adam Jones in 18 plate appearances at hits and has walked twice and struck out twice. Also,
He was
batting 286 on base with
mired
3-3.
like 0 for 10 or something before they moved him
Yeah.
up.
So it has helped, and I think of why. I mean, I'm just obviously just joking about Buck Showalter throwing in the towel. That would be ridiculous. The only reason in the leadoff is maybe, I mean, they get more, especially starting the game, because you usually start with your fastball, then you're working. And often you see an opponent losing pitcher first batter of the game. They want to,
unless it's a ball to Jimenez.
unless it's the bottom, but the bottom does not try to.
It's been moved back to third because he's the hot get him. But you're doing there.
I don't know.
Why aren't
is
you
he
letting
the
him lead
hitter?
off? I mean, he's the guy for the season,
Yeah.
or last games. But is that why you're moving him to take some runs?
He's got more home than Adam Jones, who had previously been hitting in the 3 spot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's all a rough patch, kind of a bad part of the season. And
Bad part of the season where now we're at least team games that matter more than.
yeah, and you know, I mean, look at the I said the Tampa Bay Rays have more home than we do in offense. The Blue Jays, if Tulowitzki, and they have a great offense, you're gonna need to score runs, and we knew this. Is this just us, or is this going to be a prolonged slump? But we're not going to 2-3.
Right.
We're going to, and right now, runs. Forget
When Boston tonight been 1 year, then they're already third inning. Not going to win games.
but I'm checking out the way this.
True.
Yeah,
That's what Houston should, and you're going to lose the game. Is
Sure.
not-
Tyler Wilson pitched a great game on Memorial Day. Gave up 3 runs.
right.
7. What Wilson? It was an excellent starter against the best team in baseball right now.
Yeah. Chris Davis, since May 13th, that was a little while ago, against Detroit. Since that game, he's had, or since May 12th, actually, he's had one multi-hit game. One game where he's had more than 2 hits. In the past, since May 12th. It's ridiculous. I mean, you are counting on guys like Chris Davis and Adam Jones and Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo to lead your offense. And when they don't do it, this team looks really bad. And J.J. Hardy's out, and Jonathan Scope, yeah, he's fine. But again, you can't ask him to be the superstar.
What's frustrating is how quickly this week turned, and how bad this week was. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not jumping off the bridge. I'm just saying. Last week I went into the podcast saying, you know what? It's kind of hard to talk about a team when they're winning really well and playing really good baseball, and they've been in first place the whole season. Now they showed in 1 week, we saw how bad it can get, and how this team does have the chance of things just going downhill. I hope not, and I'm not ready to say that's where it's going yet. But we're seeing glimpses enough to be a little concerned.
The biggest benefit right now is it's still May 31st.
Yep.
It's way too early to throw in the towel.
Right. Yep.
But
Yep.
you'll recall last year, I think maybe around mid-August, the Orioles got no hit by the guy in Seattle, Ishikawa or whatever his name was.
Right.
At that time, I said, that's it. Season's over. There's no chance you're coming back from a game where you get no hit by some no-name Asian pitcher and you expect to make the playoffs. Not going to happen. And it didn't happen. We finished fortunate to finish at 500. If this 3-game series in Houston had occurred mid to late July into August, I'd be telling you that's it. There's no chance you get exposed like that to a team 5 games under 500
Yeah.
and expect to make the playoffs. Right now, that's how I'm feeling, and a lot of Orioles fans are feeling, but you can't because it's not even June 1st yet.
Yeah,
Right.
we're overreacting to
It's
everything.
overreacting because
But-
it's been a crappy week.
Right.
And it sucks.
But what I don't understand about this week is it's been crappy pitchers. And I don't understand how you can't prepare to knowing that you're facing curveballs, knowing that you'll be facing knuckleballs, knowing this is your weakness. Why aren't you preparing?
They need to be able to adjust because they were hitting the cover off the ball the whole month of April into May, first half of May. We had a 7-game winning streak in May. Our bats were unstoppable.
Right.
Something's
We
happened
had-
in the last week where
We had 2 7-game winning streaks.
yeah, exactly. The second 7, we've had a 7-game winning streak in one in each of the first 2 months of the season. Something's happened with the bats, with the approach that opposing pitchers are taking to our bats, and guess what? The approach is working.
Yeah.
Whatever the other pitchers are doing against our bats, it's being successful.
Well, you have a couple of things that are going on right now. And this, we talk about a week. This actually goes back a couple of weeks because we want to take it back to the Mariners. And we lost 2 out of 3 to the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
Again, in that series, we scored 0 runs, then 5 runs, then 2 runs. Then the Angel series, we won 2 out of 3. But you guys recall, that was one of the Matt Wieters' miracle at the end where really we had no
Right.
business when we were terrible the entire game. I think it was
It's a pitcher's duel, right?
Shoemaker was striking everybody out. I think that was that game. And Wieters at the end of the game hit that 2-run blast to win it in what was a miracle. And then the Astros, of course, we know we lose all 3 games. And the Indians, we skate with 2 out of 3. But, I mean, this really goes back a couple weeks. And you wonder, I mean, with those streaks that we had, they were against the likes of the Twins, the Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder, is this a product of just playing better teams? The Indians, the Astros, I know they struggled a little bit. The Red Sox certainly are better teams. The Mariners are better teams than the teams we were playing at the beginning of the year. So is it just we overestimated how good we are? Now that we're playing good teams, we're being exposed for being average?
Maybe, and it might also, I mean, the Red Sox are really good, but they are firing on all cylinders right now.
They are.
There's no better team right now than the Boston Red Sox. They're going to come back down to earth at some point.
They are.
But right now, where we came into this 4-game series down by 1 game, it's not boding well when we're playing crappy and they're red hot. They could take all 4 of these and put a big dent in that in the standings with us right now if we
It's
can't
true.
compete.
And that's a lot of baseball is like who's playing the hottest at the moment.
Right. What if it's just bad luck?
It's all that matters in
Things
October.
not
Whoever's hot in
cooking.
October.
I mean, we saw Jackie Bradley with the 30-plus game hitting streak or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he gets out and you turn around and realize Xander Bogaerts has, a 15 or closing in 20.
It's 23 as of
I'm sorry, 23.
going
and then,
into
and then what's
Tuesday
going to
night.
happen is behind him, I think Ortiz has like a 9-game hitting streak going on or something.
Yeah.
So when he gets out, Ortiz is going to have I mean, they're just all playing really. All their young guys are stepping up like Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts. Ortiz is playing out of his
Yeah.
mind.
Ortiz found some new life.
Yeah.
Or drugs.
Yeah.
That might be the name of a new steroid.
Yeah. I think we're not. I mean, with Ortiz's past and the way he's playing, I know we have this thing in the judicial system where we say you're innocent till proven guilty. But I think as far as baseball players and their past of lying to our faces over and over again, that I think it's fair game to assume if an older player is having a great year, he's on some type of performance enhancing
Well,
drug.
and to his benefit, what's he got to lose? It's his last season. Who cares?
Yeah.
If he gets a suspended, it'll be 25 game for first offender. He'll still be back
Right.
around for the playoffs.
Yeah.
How long does it take for that stuff to get out of his system?
If he doesn't care about the integrity of the game, which he seems to not be a guy who cares about much of
No.
anything besides
all-
himself, then why wouldn't you?
Oh, I would announce my retirement tour and have the greatest season of my career.
Right.
Done.
And
Right.
go out as a hero,
That's right.
unless you're caught.
Unless you're caught, and then
A
you
hero,
just deny it.
a
Deny
hero,
it.
right? A hero that everyone hates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as he's loved in Boston, that's all he needs to be. And
It's true.
Dominican. You ever been to Dominican?
Yeah, but-
they have murals of him painted on the interstate.
I thought you were gonna say mules.
And even us, like we hate him, and we hate Jose Bautista. We hate people we respect. We hate him because they're really good at the game of baseball. And,
Look,
and
well-
Ortiz right now is one of the best guys at the game of baseball.
Yeah, but we hate Ortiz because of the attitude he plays it with.
Yeah, but if Ortiz wasn't good, we wouldn't care.
If Ortiz wasn't good, he wouldn't have that attitude. It wouldn't last.
I mean, he doesn't run out fly balls. It's embarrassing kind of watch him try to
We-
run out
we-
it.
We
a
watched
hit.
them walk to first base yesterday.
It's amazing.
On a play, he
And it
easily
came
could
where
have beat out.
Caleb Joseph picked it up and kind of looked everywhere else, and then looked shocked that Ortiz wasn't at first base yet, so he threw it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I don't know how other pitchers stand there and not beam and don't beam him every time. I don't understand. Like, great self-control from Orioles pitchers not to beam his fat behind every time he stands up and takes up the entire batter's box with his big body.
I
Good
can't-
self-control there.
I can't think of any players that are disliked and play with an attitude who can't back it up, though. I mean, he has
Well-
attitude, but his play can back it up. He's great.
Yeah, I mean, like Papelbon, I guess he's a decent
Okay.
reliever, but everyone hates him.
Yeah, I mean, he's washed up for the most part.
Yeah,
He's not the old Papelbon.
yeah.
I mean, Batista's right up there. He's a jerk. Everyone hates him, but he's still one of the best.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be a jerk. I mean, we all hated Eric Bedard, and he was even on our team.
Yeah.
Because he was a jerk.
Right.
But I think this combination of being a great player combined with being a jerk, combined with being on a rival team,
Right.
all kind of adds up to make them complete jerkwads.
Right, that everyone in Baltimore hates Ortiz.
Yeah.
Right. No one from Baltimore would not hate Ortiz.
No, I mean, props the intern, because he's got those old Boston ties. So maybe he will find room to defend Ortiz, but outside of someone with Boston ties, you would
Intern,
never defend.
Do you like Ortiz?
No.
Okay, fair enough. So even a guy who used to be a Boston fan from Severna Park, who's converted to an Orioles fan,
Right. So
even he
your typical
hates
Severna
Ortiz.
Park Red Sox fan.
Yeah,
Foreman.
and good for the intern getting out of that cult to the Severna Park cult, where 75%, this is true in high schools, 75% of high schoolers in Severna Park are Red Sox fans.
Yep.
They are fans of the Red Sox.
Because they were all born and fell in love with baseball at the time that the Red Sox were winning.
It's like the guy I went to college with. I went to college with him, so we grew up in the 90s. He was Atlanta Braves baseball fan. He was a Duke Blue Devil college basketball fan.
All right,
A
those-
Florida State Seminole
Yeah.
college football
Those
fan.
are teams that played well as he grew up.
Yeah, and so you pick all the winners.
Right.
That's what kids in Severna Park do
Sure.
as they drive in their Beamers.
So before we get to this weekend,
Yeah.
should we talk about our new segment?
Sure.
You want to do a little of our new segment?
Yeah. Let's do it.
We don't have a title for this segment yet.
Okay.
Do you want to intro it, or you want me to?
Do you want me to provide listeners with the history of podcasting?
Do you have some history prepared?
From the guy who never even heard of a podcast 4 years ago.
Well, we're on our fourth baseball season, and we've noticed that there's a lot of other Baltimore sports podcasts all of a sudden showing up in the past month or so.
Well, it all started in, was it 2012 maybe, with Bird's Eye View. I like to call them the godfathers of Baltimore podcasting because
Yeah.
they were the first,
They're old school.
right? They're old school. And then you had other podcasts, the original few, like Baltimoreans. They were before us.
Right.
I think Baltimore Sports Report was before us.
They were a little bit before us.
And there was Section 388 on YouTube.
They had a sweet one video a year.
They were
thing going.
they called them the Pathfinders. They really set the path for
I'd love to get
YouTube.
those guys in here sometime.
But these were kind of the original. We had a whole spat with Orioles Spastics while they were still around.
There was a great run of 4 to 5 shows
Yeah.
that were going.
Yeah,
And now there's 2 left.
And the origins. Yeah, there's 2 left. The 3. Baltimore Sports Report.
That's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's gone. It's gone from my phone.
But they still do Baltimore Sports today.
Yes, that's
that's
different.
still a thing.
That's different.
Okay, fine. But it's
Yeah,
Let's
Jabby
bring
and Zach
off.
are still in it.
and Birds Eye View still around, and we're still around. And Morons, they just had their nickname episode.
Right.
Excellent.
We see
Brilliant.
them once a quarter.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and they're always great. But the whole idea behind podcasting, and I never heard of podcast when we started this thing.
Well, it's this button that we started the show with.
For fans, by fans.
And that's the whole thing. Because if you want to listen to the radio guys, but they weren't scratching an itch. They were missing an itch that was not guys invested in the team, not guys who work for Maston or work for other networks, just regular dudes. I'm a teacher, an accountant, Bert's an accountant, Josh is AV guy, and this is what we do in our free time just for fun because we're fans,
So-
hanging out with our fans.
So we thought that each week we would help you guys out, and we'd share some little clips from some of the other shows
Because podcasts
around.
popping up left and
Yeah.
right. We got podcasts everywhere. More power to you.
You Google Baltimore
Love
Sports
it. Yeah.
Podcasts, you'll have enough to listen to forever. So we're just going to choose some segments. So the first one, I brought 2 segments for you today. The
Okay.
first one are on episode 5. So I just thought we could give them just a little advice. Would you like to hear the clip first?
Sure.
Or I'll tell you the advice. The advice for these guys would be, we make sure that the dog is locked up way away from the podcast studio.
Uh-oh, we got a dog here.
No dog.
Uh-oh.
You need to go do this. Yeah, I think so. Well, my cats are calling out to me. I got to unlock them from the prison that I put them in for while they're podcasting. So that's all we got for you for episode number 5.
Can you hear the cats all meowing in the background
Yeah,
of this
the
podcast?
cat's in the background. Yeah, I know. I like that. I know Ryan Blake. I feel like in one of his episodes there might have been a bird in the background. When you throw a lot of animals, see,
Right.
I think that adds something to
Yeah.
it. Almost like you're out in nature doing the podcast.
Every now and then I'll catch a podcast where they're sitting outside or there's train noises and fire trucks and everything. So I'd say find a nice soundproof studio would be our advice.
You used to be able to hear a gorilla in the background, but then it was followed up by
Oh,
gunshots.
stop!
and then-
Too soon, Bert. Too soon.
But then I brought another segment from another local podcast.
David Ortiz. He does have some friends on the team.
Yeah, see, I
but
thought guys generally liked him just because, they put up with his BS because he's Big Papi and everybody buys into the persona and everything.
I don't think so, especially in this town.
So he was volunteered by players, though. I'm not talking old school managers. You're saying his contemporaries were like, Ortiz pisses us off.
Yeah, I would say amongst the fans, and we're talking about the players, though. I'm going to get back to the players. It would be between Ortiz and Bautista. But Ortiz, for bashing that phone, the way he admires his home runs and stands in the batter's box and profiles, does rub maybe the catcher
The guy's hit
and some other
500
players the
of
wrong
them, though.
way.
Like, I can take it for him more than a guy like Batista, who was a journeyman nobody, and then all of a sudden, anywho.
Here's my tip for these guys. Don't try to defend David Ortiz and say that you're from Baltimore, born and raised at the same time.
Well, we were just having the conversation. I guess not everyone's anti-Ortiz. Fine. If you want to be an Ortiz guy and be an Orioles fans, okay, do it. I don't care.
So those are our clips today. We need a name
you.
for this segment. Send us a name.
Okay.
Mandy said we should call it Anyone Can Podcast. That seems a little harsh, but maybe we'll go there.
Yeah. Well, and look at us putting other podcasts out there, introducing you to. We of course should listen to us.
Yeah, but you might want to listen to these guys as well.
Yeah, because the more you listen to them, the more you realize how awesome we are. So it's what we call a win-win in the podcast business.
This weekend, I'll be making love to my man. Oh, yes, I will, yeah. This weekend, yeah, I'll be making love to my man.
This weekend we play New York.
Yankees. It's got to get better, right?
If we hit the ball, we'll win. If we don't hit the ball, we'll lose. Other thoughts, boys?
Simple enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of every Oriole game this season. It seems like it's not going to be pitching that's going to be the problem. It's going to be the bats, and if we can string a few things together.
Yeah, we need to bring Dong City back to Baltimore here. We need some more dongs. This is a big. I think it's a 10-game homestand. This is a big homestand at home. We're supposed to win these games at home.
Right now the Yankees are 24-26. The way we're playing, we don't want them to kind of get a little excitement back by winning some games against us.
Well, since Aroldis Chapman has come back, they have the best record in the AL East.
Right.
Since Aroldis Chapman's come back, so they're playing good baseball.
But we gotta score runs. We gotta squash it,
and we got to do it before we get to the seventh inning because they got that Miller and Batance and Chapman combination on the bullpen. So you got to get them early. You got to get to the starting pitchers.
And we're at Camden Yards. The weather's warm. These home runs gotta start going.
It is warm.
Good stuff, Bert.
It was very hot on Memorial Day.
It was. I got a little burnt nose to show for it.
We'll be there Friday, right?
We're gonna go on Friday.
Are you gonna be there, Matt?
Friday, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We moved it from Saturday to Friday to appease you.
Really?
Uh-oh.
I gotta get the house ready though. People coming over on Saturday. I have to look at that.
That's right. It was supposed to be Saturday.
Right now,
I didn't
Jimenez.
realize you just moved it a day back.
Yeah, right now Jimenez is scheduled to pitch on Thursday. You think he'll pitch another one, right? We don't need to be concerned about
Another one.
Jimenez.
By one, you mean one inning? Yes.
I got a segment coming up for Roberto Jimenez, and I think you guys are gonna be surprised with
your thoughts
with what the numbers say.
Okay.
So-
Wow, what numbers from last year? Because they certainly weren't numbers from the month of May. Unless you want to take that one good start and average it all out, because going 8 innings, giving up 0 runs, will do wonders for your other starts the rest of the month.
All right. Well, let's kick it over to. I'm gonna try to embody my best Jim Cramer.
Ooh.
I'm calling on.
Do you like this button?
No, I don't need any special buttons. Okay. I don't want, and I'm not calling on Kramer from Seinfeld. People don't know that. I'm calling on Jim Cramer, stock market genius. I'm calling on him to inspire me. He's my muse to help me with what we should do about Roberto Jimenez and Joey Rickard. Trying to teach you so in Google. The Jones to consistently the players on this Orioles team fans be so many people and the sensitive words. That leads the team at the point you gotta get your record. Don't lie. Outfielder. Stop. Though every now and then we'll and for the year with he's been an girls. With the fact that right to many that in crime. However, I has to off. He's dead. His has however, balls in play 297 field finding an open over left on people being as runners will be down. Hey, has been bad watch. About But the numbers, the peripheral numbers, you look at that FIP, which is really low for a Botto at 4.47, which is around where he's supposed to be. And we said this last week. Watch the games before you want to Botto Jimenez. Watch the game.
Yeah.
He's having a lot of bad luck. And it's not all bad luck, but he's having a lot of bad luck.
What about base runners being able to steal at will against him?
Yeah, I mean that's always been an issue with his career. But the fact that he usually leaves 70+% on base. This year, he's leaving a whole lot less on base, which usually evens out. Those type of things usually even out, like the left on base percentage.
But you even said they're not left on base because they're all scoring.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're all scoring because his BABIP against that 375 number is extraordinarily high. So the old dinks and the rollers, they're all falling in. And so presumably that will get better and there'll be less dinks, which means less runners will be coming in to score.
So instead of giving up 6 runs, he might only give up like 3 or 4.
Right, which we can live with, right?
Yeah. If he had a start where he gave up 3 runs, I would be content. And then we'd just be pointing the finger back at the offense again.
Yeah, I mean, like stolen bases. Like last year, he gave up 22 stolen bases and only caught 3 guys.
Yeah.
So he's kind of on pace with that this year.
It's something to do with that motion where it takes him forever. The arm dips back and like has this little cock, and then he finally steps up and throws.
Yeah.
If you're gonna walk a bunch of guys, that doesn't help things because every walk turns into a runner in scoring position. If you're letting base runners move around whenever they want.
It's true, and the walks are up a little bit, but I think that's going to get better. If you look at his velocity, his pitch movement, they seem to be consistent with last year. Like he hasn't lost velocity, he hasn't lost the strike zone a little bit, but I think all that also says some bad luck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know everyone's hating on Ubaldo and they want him out of here. I'm telling you though, there's still some good Ubaldo in there. So you just hang in there,
It's like Luke Skywalker talking about Darth Vader. They're still good in him. I know it.
Absolutely. He has not completely gone to the dark force. There's still some good in him.
Dark side.
The dark side.
As much as he stinks.
Mixing my
Star
Wars terminology.
Unfortunately, I think I have to agree with you that there's no better option.
And that's a whole other argument,
unless
too.
they go looking outside the organization.
Yeah.
Well, the other option is pitching on Thursday with Jonah Heim with Gallardo on his rehab this week.
Yeah.
So the question is, when he comes up in a couple of weeks, is it the obvious Mike Wright, Tyler Wilson make room, or do you pressure Ubaldo Jimenez to go down south and get this taken care of?
Yeah, I mean, even Gallardo's not proven that he's going to be any kind of solution to the problem.
No, he's no solution. Yeah. But he's a guy that we've paid to pitch in that position, who we've expected as a solution, and he had the injury we were afraid of. Now, hopefully, he comes back a little stronger and with his fastball velocity. Yeah.
And that's another aspect of it. You mentioned the money aspect for Gallardo, and it's true for Jimenez. Like, here's another reason why he's not being sent to the minors. He's not going anywhere because he makes too much money.
Yeah.
And those players will stay around. He has another year in his contract after this year, so he's not going to go anywhere.
I can't believe it's been almost this is his third year.
Third year with us,
4-year deal when we got him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, bad year, a good year.
Yeah.
Even the year itself is up and down.
Right.
Even the year you say was good wasn't
it
good.
Was better.
Right.
It was acceptable, I guess.
Yeah. His overall career and tenure with the Orioles, I think, has been a disappointment. I think we all agree with that.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a real motivator to go out and sign more free agent pitchers.
Like Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
After Gallardo, we're never going to sign another pitcher.
No.
It seems like you have only 2 options, though, if you want to sign a free agent pitcher. Either you have to be willing to spend $100 million or be stuck with crap.
Right.
I mean, that's it.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. Unless you trade or you build it from within. And right now, our 2 best are Tillman, who we got with a trade and was essentially built from it within, and Gausman. And other than that, I mean, Mike Wright and Tyler Wilson are built up from within, but they're not guys we're like, banking the farm on them or anything.
Yeah. It would be nice, and sometimes I'd like to dream about in 2 years a starting rotation. I still dream about this, despite what I've seen. A starting rotation in 2 years that consists of Kevin Gausman, Dylan Bundy, and Hunter Harvey.
Yeah.
Even though they always disappoint, I still have that dream that one day will happen.
Tillman's the old guy on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if those three young players, even two of those players turn out to be good pitchers, and Kevin Gossman and either Hunter Harvey, Dylan Bundy, you can fill in the other three guys. But you have to have good starters, and you can't. We're not going to buy them, so the only other option is to grow them.
Yeah. Now, all right, so you're buying Jimenez because there are no other options.
Well, and because the peripherals, the FIP, and
you say it's going to balance out math-wise.
Yeah.
But you're selling Rickert.
Yeah.
So how do we handle Rickert? What do you do there?
Well, I think
you like Rickert as a late inning.
Yeah, I think he's fine as a.
So what's your starting outfield? Who do you prefer? Trumbo, Reimold, Jones?
I like.
Is that what you're asking for?
I like to juggle between Kim and Reimold.
Reimold's been hot last few games.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's always played well.
So you're leaving.
You
you're saying Jones and Trumbo. They're steady. They're your guys in the outfield.
Sure.
And you're going to juggle Reimold and Kim.
Sure. And I guess it also depends with what you want to do with Pedro Alvarez.
That was my next question: is how you handle that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to keep one. He hasn't played in a while, has he? It seems like I guess he played third base the other day. And
right.
He's not going to get many more starts at third base after that. But he's another guy who's not hitting, and that's his one single job.
Bring back Paredes. Let Alvarez go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's the answer. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Pedro Alvarez. Because I'm more likely, people want to talk about we need to drop the axe on Ubaldo Jimenez. We need to drop the axe on some of these hitters who aren't performing.
Right.
I mean, what is? I mean, honestly, Rickard, I'm almost to the point where I'm okay with him shipping him back to Tampa Bay. I hate to say it.
I think Rickard. I like Rickard. I like watching Rickard. I like Rickard in the leadoff spot because what Rickard does is he takes pitches, and it's common to see a 7-pitch at bat to Rickard. And that's got to help the guys. It's because it's got to help the guys behind him, and he gets on base, which helps guys get RBIs.
He doesn't get on base.
He's the only run we've scored on this game tonight going into the bottom of the 5th inning because he got an infield single and Reimold drove him in with a double.
Right, and that's Rickard at the bottom of the order. I think Rickard sees more pitches than a lot of the other guys. I feel like he's getting some walks.
Is there anything that a guy like Xavier Avery or even LJ Hose, is there anything that Rickard can do that they can't do, though?
Patience at the plate.
All right,
it's
that's
patience.
The fact that he averages, I think it's 4.4 pitches per at bat. That's it.
No, well,
hire me to go up there and stand at the plate.
But when does the Rule 5 thing play into it? Doesn't he have to be on the roster all year?
Right, he's got to be on the roster all
year. That's
year.
what I'm saying. Ship him back to Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
But if he is at this level now, don't you think that he stays on the team? You get him some more AAA time next year, and then you have advantage of him over Avery or Hose is you hold him on for this year. He then gets to stay in the organization longer and has a higher upside than those other guys.
Yeah. Like T.J. McFarland, all he has brought to the franchise, or Jason Garcia, all that he has brought to the franchise, or Ryan Flaherty, all that he has brought to the franchise. I mean,
or what Jose Bautista brought to the Blue Jays.
Okay, you can use that one example. You think Joey Rickard's going to turn to Jose Bautista? Is that your argument here?
Never know.
I'm just saying, at best, he's going to be a fringe player because that's what all these guys are fringe players at best.
Right.
So you want to bend over backwards and not be able to bring guys up from the minor leagues and have your bench suck just so you can have the potential to add another fringe guy to your minor league system? I'm convinced. I didn't think this before the show. I'm starting to convince myself that we should send him back to Tampa. Just having this conversation with you guys.
I'm not convinced just because I don't think he's the reason we're losing and the reason the offense is struggling. I mean, just now in this game tonight, we're looking at a 5-0 shutout if he's got the only at bat with a hit and scoring the run.
But fine.
But I'm pulling up his numbers for the last few games he's actually played.
You know, Darren O'Day was a Rule 5 guy.
Yes.
And Jay Gibbons, Josh Hamilton. Those guys all had success as Rule 5 guys.
Okay, but for every successful guy, there's 50 guys who weren't successful.
There's not that many that even are drafted and play in.
Yeah, I mean, he had gone 2 for 14 going into playing tonight here on Tuesday against Boston. So
I'm just saying it's not Joey Rickard's fault the offense is struggling. But at some point, Joey Rickard's struggling, Pedro Alvarez is struggling. Like it's all these bench guys are struggling. At some point, do you say, I mean, Giannis and Flaherty we know bring nothing offensively. At some point, do you say, we can't have 4 guys bringing nothing offensively to this team?
Right.
We need to start making
Sure.
some moves.
And that's where I think Alvarez's leash is getting shorter and shorter because he doesn't bring much to the game. He doesn't bring much to the team. He doesn't give you
But he at least has the offensive potential, unlike Flaherty or Giannis.
Yeah, but he's not a long-term strategy. He's a guy who is going to help you win this year. And if he can't hit the ball this year, then he's doing no good to you. He can't play the field.
He's a DH.
He's a DH whose job is to help you win now. A DH isn't a long-term solution. It's a now, this year, this instance. He can't do that.
Well,
Therefore,
he hasn't done it yet.
Right. So therefore, you get rid of Pedro. That DH becomes a rest day, like we've done a few years ago.
Oh, but
it becomes a.
We experienced the black hole DH. Do you want to go back to those days?
We're in the black hole DH. We've never gotten out of the black hole DH.
Yeah, I think Mark Trumbo's a pretty good DH.
Yeah, he would be a wonderful DH.
Yeah.
He'd be a great DH.
All right, good.
So get rid of Alvarez and put Trumbo in DH.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to give up on the Pedro Alvarez experiment just yet. I'm waiting for one of those hot streaks where he goes hot for a long period of time. Right?
Keep waiting. I'm also waiting for the Davis hot streak. We haven't seen that this year.
I'm still waiting for the
Jones hot
Sammy
streak.
Sosa hot streak.
Right. If you can wait all day if you want. I'm still waiting for Ubaldo Jimenez to be a great pitcher.
What you guys can make knee jerk reactions and fire everybody after
I'm still waiting
a
to
rough
fall in
2-week
love with
patch.
David Lowe.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Wish we had David Lowe back instead of Joey Rickard. Who's with me?
No. Where's he at? Is he in the Mets now? He's somewhere. Phillies, maybe?
Yeah, the Phillies. Last
All
time I
right.
saw it was
I knew
Phillies.
he was up there, up on the East Coast, northeast.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, those are. But at some point, if they continue to stop scoring, I'm less concerned about Ubaldo Jimenez's head rolling, and more concerned about one of these pitchers. I mean, I'm sorry, one of these hitters. Little headshot button there.
I wonder what that noise was.
Threw that in from the Kramer buttons.
Ned Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you said this was your first time. This is your second time doing the Kramer bit.
Really?
Yeah, it's your first time running your own buttons. First time we've allowed you to.
I didn't realize it is before.
First time we've played mute sound and stuff off your computer on purpose.
Oh, I've done it before for the purple episodes where we did the predictions for the week ahead or something of the football games.
Oh, okay.
Nobody listens to this.
No,
Right.
no, that was back in the day.
No one cares about football.
That was back in the day.
What's next?
You're just a ball bag, my friend. Hey, ball bag, how you doing? What's your name again? It's ball bag.
This is a really pessimistic and irritable podcast we're putting out right
I know.
now.
Yeah,
you know what? We've had a positive week.
That series in Houston really sucked the life out of me, to be honest. It was. I'm still embarrassed about all those strikeouts.
Yeah, by the time that series was over, I didn't want to watch baseball.
And full disclosure, and I don't like talking about the game that we're watching, but this game's pissing me off right here because we have Eduardo Rodriguez, a former
Right.
prospect
We're
who traded for
supposed to
Andrew
knock him
Miller,
around.
and we have, and I thought for sure we were going to get to him quickly.
Yeah.
Just coming off injury, and we have Kevin Gossman, are always more highly touted, I think, than Eduardo Rodriguez.
Sure.
And yet our highly touted guy is getting beat by our formerly
Lower level
erstwhile
guy, right.
guy who was not quite as highly touted. So
Yeah.
it just this whole game is just ticking me off as we're doing the show. And the more we do the show, the more I'm watching the game, and the more angry I'm becoming. So let's go, Josh.
Well,
what do you have in the freaking ball bag?
The ball bag's a good time to remind people to go on Section 336 and check out our new shirts and buy some shirts in our new store, where I put up the Trumbo shirts, the Joey shirts. Bert would like to transition that Joey shirt into a Kim shirt.
Yeah, the real American hero, Nunsu Kim.
But the big news is I took the hashtag Mattis for Starter shirts down off the store and put them back up with no number 17 on the back.
Okay.
And no hashtag starter. So you can get the Section 336 script shirts or the cool Trumbo shirts.
That's ugly.
For our one guy that can hit the ball. Trumbo and Janish, only guys that can hit the ball.
What's Mattis's deal right now? He's been DFA'd and
By the Braves.
Yeah.
He's just sitting around.
But
Did someone pick
there's
him up?
like a certain number of days that need to go by,
Right,
and then the
right.
Braves have to pay him, and he goes to their minor league system, or he can not
No,
accept
he-
that.
He has the option.
He can accept it or be released, right?
Can he collect the money and be released?
I mean, I think baseball money is
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah, he gets the money.
Okay.
And then he becomes a free agent, and he can do whatever he
choose
wants.
to stay or go wherever.
And then could the Orioles offer him like a league minimum contract?
Yeah, and they could offer a minor league deal.
So, Josh, let's hold off on pulling those T-shirts down. Just a sec.
No. They're right now. I'd put if I'm betting, I'd say 50% chance he ends up back in Baltimore in the next 3 years, because for some reason, the Orioles love Brian Mattis. So
when we trade them Brian Mattis, you think they could have given us Bud Norris back, just to give him a shot?
do we want Bud Norris back?
I'm making a face. I'm not being serious, guys.
If you were the
You guys
GM,
think I'm serious?
If you were if you were Dan Duquette, if you were the GM of the Orioles, I would do this. Would I wouldn't go after Bud Norris, but would
Nick
you go after
Markakis?
would you go after Bud Norris?
Sure.
I would love. Do you know what I would love more than anything? I would love to be the GM of the Braves. I would love to be the GM of a tanking team.
Right.
If I was
Right.
tank, knew we were going to lose, I'm bringing Brian Mattis to be a starter. I'll bring in Bud Norris.
Why not?
Nick
Right.
Markakis will play center field for me. If I knew the whole thing, and that's what you do, you tank
Right.
to get the high draft picks.
You want your guy to look really good now, so you can trade him right away.
Right. And so I would love to general manage a terrible team until I got fired.
Yeah,
it would be a lot
fun.
of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
And I have not thrown away my Bud Norris jersey. I'd be happy to pull it back out again. I do still wear it occasionally.
Yeah.
I'd take Nick Markakis in right field and put Trumbo up as DH.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with that.
you can do whatever you want when you're on a losing team.
When your team is tanking.
So
We really, when we were in Baltimore, with the Baltimore bad years, we did tanking terribly. By the way, can I say that?
Yeah.
We were terrible at tanking.
Right, we
couldn't
tried
do
not
right.
to tank.
We signed high price free agents that were halfway decent, but had no trade value. We were terrible at tanking.
Yeah.
So All-Star voting, you know how they update it every week or so. The first update in All-Star voting came out today.
Oh, nice.
So I thought you'd like a little update.
Okay, can I make some guesses?
All right. Well, first base. Is that how you want to guess?
Oh, okay. Well,
How do you
want
wanna guess?
Is there a DH position?
There is, which I didn't think there was. There is, though.
Yeah.
But Mark Trumbo's on there as an outfielder.
Right. So obviously David Ortiz is
DH.
leading the DH.
Right.
Sure. As he should be.
All right.
Oh, first base. I don't know. It's not Chris Davis.
No, Chris Davis is number 3. Above him is Miguel Cabrera
Moreland
and Eric Hosmer.
Oh yeah,
for
that
the
makes
Royals.
sense. The Royals, of course.
Remember,
Hosmer,
you got to give.
Just let Josh pronounce the name. Sorry,
Remember,
this is a treat. This is a treat for the listeners. A
remember,
treat.
you got to remember the Kansas City fans.
The Kansas City
and as bad as
factor.
the Royals play, you got to give them a little bump in the Kansas City.
Well, and
factor.
Hosmer's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Well deserving of that.
All right, second base being led by Jose Altuve.
Okay.
I added the S just for you. I know there's no S there.
Yeah, right.
I got the word in front of me.
Now that's I'm sure a tight race between him and Cano. Because Cano's having a
Cano's
great
on
year.
fire.
Not really. Altuve has double Cano almost.
Oh wow. Okay.
Interesting.
But
Cano
Cano
is third.
second. Oh,
Second is Omar Infante.
Oh, it's the Kansas City.
Kansas,
factor.
Kansas City factor.
Yeah.
Third base.
Thank you, Bert, for correcting every time he says a word. This is great.
I'm going to get
doing
on
it
the
on
names
purpose.
wrong. Yeah. Third base, Manny Machado.
He's first.
He is first.
Good.
Followed by
Oh, I want to hear this one. The Kansas City third baseman. Here we go.
Mike Moustakas.
Moustakis.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty
He's
good.
on the disabled list.
Yeah, but he's It's the Kansas City factor. The Kansas City factor is all through this. Followed by
KCF.
Josh Donaldson.
So it's good to see Manny Machado beating out Josh Donaldson. That's good to
Right. Shortstops. Alexander Bogarts.
see. Okay.
Nice trying.
Escobar for the Royals.
Yeah.
And Troy Tulowitzki for the Blue Jays.
He-
J.J. Hardy's number 5.
Yeah. Well, there's no that right there. That right there, Alexander Bogarts is good, but that right there shows you how bad the shortstops are in the American League. Because Alexander Bogarts is
Yeah.
good, and that's it.
Right.
Tulowitzki's terrible this year.
But I believe it's
Escobar-
just
J.J. Hardy's number 5 is a joke.
Escobar is only behind by 5,000 votes.
Yeah.
it's just
and that's-
Xander,
but that's the Royal.
not X Xander.
No, it starts with an X.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
So we
pronounced
emphasize
Xander.
like Xavier.
Even that is not pronounced Xavier. It's Xavier.
Are you familiar with the X-Men?
Yes, Professor X.
Yes.
All right. Catchers. Catchers. Salvador Perez.
Of course. Well, he's a good catcher.
Yeah, he's a good catcher.
He's legit.
But he is destroying catchers.
Yeah.
He has over
Again,
a million votes,
weak position.
while second place has 300,000.
Yeah.
Which is Brian McCann, followed by Matt Wieters.
Right.
Outfielders.
Trumbo.
Number 1, Mike Trout.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Number
Mike Trout.
2, Lorenzo Cain.
Yep.
Royal factor.
Yeah, but Kane's great. Kane's
Yeah,
great.
he's good.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Trumbo.
Trumbo.
over Jones. How do you feel about that, Bert?
Jones is 9th, I believe.
Yeah, Jones is 9.
Oh,
You've
that's a
already
little bit
seen
lower
this
than I
list.
thought
Yeah,
that
he's
would
way
be.
down. Ahead of Trumbo, you have Jackie Bradley Jr., Jose Batista, Alex Gordon, Mookie Betts, who hit 2 home runs tonight.
Gordon's on the disabled list.
Paulo
Yeah.
Orlando,
That's
then Adam Jones.
That's impressive that Trumbo is ahead of those guys.
Yeah, because those are popular guys.
Like Jose
Those are
Batista,
big name-
Jackie Bradley,
big name
such a long
players.
streak. Like everyone knows those names. Those are household names. So that's good for Trumbo to be hit on the top of that list. It's good to see.
The dongs will get you attention.
So
The fans are good at this. Let's face it. The fans are good at picking these players. The fans are good at this.
Have I not pointed out that second place in every category is a Royal?
The fans are just
Second place doesn't get in, though.
That's right.
All right. But second place, you know what it is? You know what the Royals are? The Royals are like the independent candidate that screws up voting for everyone else. Where you can't have just your straight real candidates. You got to have the one that stupid people vote for and screw it all up.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Are
see?
people with integrity.
Did you guys see the third candidate I bought a bumper sticker for? I posted on Instagram.
No.
It's
Trumbo?
2016 Giant Meteor just ended already.
Did
I'm voting
you
for
put
the
that on
Giant
your-
Meteor.
You didn't put that on your car.
Is that
did
a
you?
write-in ballot?
No.
I was going to say, who puts bumper stickers on their cars anymore?
I like that. That's cute.
If it was a magnet, I'd put it on my car. Somebody wants to buy me that.
Yeah,
magnet.
magnets are smart.
Just ended
But
already.
Giant meteor.
I can update you guys each week because the AL All-Star voting updates will come out every Tuesday.
Woohoo!
Just
Section
for-
336, your exclusive source.
Exclusive.
We need a new segment with music and everything for this. Some all-star tunes.
That song?
Is that all-star?
that was
No,
Ned
that's
Yost.
Ned Yost.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
Speaking of
recognize
Kansas
the
City.
riff from the
Name that
Baseball
tune.
Mind?
Yeah, it's the best song that guy's ever written. All right. I also want to talk to you guys about reviews and challenges because we saw a weird play yesterday in the game where the ball went off off the batter's foot, and they called it fair because the umps didn't see it.
Right.
Buck went out, and it was apparently something that you can't challenge because they said you wouldn't know how to handle it or where to put the runners if it went off the foul. And I tried to get an explanation, and no one could explain to me why a foul off a player's foot is different than calling a foul off a line.
Well, yeah, and apparently Buck couldn't get an answer
And
either.
Buck
'cause
couldn't get an answer.
Nothing happened.
So my opinion is that challenges, if you're going to have challenges in baseball, anything imaginable should be challengeable. If the whole goal is to get the stuff right, you should be able to challenge whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys' thoughts on challenges, reviews, how baseball is handling all this?
I don't know. I just got annoyed at the game on Monday when Buck had to challenge two things and got them both right because they can't do their job apparently on calls that they didn't have to sit back there on the headsets for 3 minutes to
That
figure it
freaking
out.
Weiss off in section 334 up in the bleachers.
Right.
He
Up in the
literally
nosebleeds.
put the headset on and immediately took them off.
Oh, New York.
They were that
Yeah,
obvious.
New York answered it without or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's pathetic. I don't know. I
I was playing the baseball video game.
The show. MLB The Show.
The show.
Do they have challenges?
Well, they asked me on the screen a little pop-up. After I was playing for a while, a little pop-up message came up, and they said, do you want to, something about the strike calls, do you want to make the balls and strike calls automatically call all the right calls, or do you want to have human error like in real baseball?
Mine has human error.
And I said, are you kidding me? I want the strike to be a strike and a ball to be a ball. I don't want human error in a computer game
Human
or in
error
any
sucks.
game.
See-
Yes, human error sucks. So, yeah, I'm for replay, and I'm for getting rid of the fat guys behind home plate and just getting a machine there to call balls and strikes.
I am all for robotic umpires.
I'm all for
up
just robots taking over humans in general.
You want some base wars?
Why have human error on anything when
That's
it can
right.
be avoidable?
We can be perfect.
Yes.
Not we, they, actually. They can be
Right.
perfect.
They can perfect us.
I want to
Yes.
just sit in my floating chair, drinking a Slurpee, and getting fat, and watching the baseball
Why not?
robots play.
Why not?
Yeah.
You can have a robot make money for you just to give it to you.
In fact, the players don't even need to play the game. We'll run a computer simulator and figure out who would win the game if
Yeah.
it was actually played, and then we'll do it like that.
How horrible would baseball be without human error? where it's just the statistics. All the stats nerds would go crazy.
They would love it.
They would love it.
They would love it.
Until they realize there's nothing to watch.
But yeah, I would put a replay guy up top at every stadium.
Yeah, there's
and
no-
replay every single play.
There's
Just
no-
watch the play, get every call right.
There's no need to go to New York. Just throw another umpire who's the TV umpire.
Yep. And put a couple guys up there to watch the whole
Then-
thing. And if the umpires get anything wrong,
Right.
say, hey, just beep down 2 seconds. You're wrong.
Right.
Fix it.
Right. There's no embarrassing the umpire. It's making calls right.
You don't have to have John Gibbons come up on the top step and just hang out for a while.
Right.
You don't have to have Buck Showalter make the headset symbol or put in the earmuffs, whatever Buck Showalter's doing down there. I don't understand. This seems so obvious that I don't get it. I don't get this one. Why you don't want the calls right, or why you just want certain calls right, when it seems like it's an easy and quicker solution just to get all calls right.
That's logic. Get all calls right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought of that?
It's crazy.
Yay!
Uh-oh, boys and girls. You know what that music means. Time for thoughts,
Somebody wake him up.
corrections,
Nudge him.
fun facts. I'll do a long intro as the intern wakes up.
I was going to say, I can never hear the music feeding through the computer, so it's a little hard to always figure that out.
Intern, I don't want excuses, intern. I want results, man.
But even if you can't hear the music, you still hear us get all excited after what was otherwise a dreary podcast.
And we all turn and look at you.
Yeah. And we say it's time for the intern.
Intern in the house.
I figured out the name of the picture on August 12, 2015, who the Orioles had.
I forget what we were talking
about. Wait, what?
No-hitter against.
Oh, the Seattle guy? Who was that?
Iwakuma.
Yeah. Hishashi Iwakuma.
There you go.
Yep, there we go.
I know I'm saying that wrong, but...
Iwakuma part's right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty spot
What
on.
did Bert say originally?
Iwakuma.
I think I said it was Travis Ishikawa.
All right.
Oh, you might have said that.
That's
Wasn't he an Oriole for a little while?
I was trying to figure
He's
out
the
where
first baseman.
I was trying to figure out where the correction was. That's all.
Yes, and I did look up some fun Joey Rickard stats.
Oh,
you.
nice.
I love it.
I'm
So
selling.
It turns out Joey Rickard actually leads the Orioles in stolen bases this year with 3.
Wait, wow. Really? It seems to me like Rickard gets thrown out every time he runs.
I bet he also leads
He's
in
been
caught
caught
steals.
stealing once.
No.
Yes. According to Orioles.com. And
The internets don't lie.
The only other player, like the next closest player, is Pedro Alvarez with 1, along with 5 other players.
I think Matt Wieters has a stolen base too,
Yeah.
right? I remember that one.
That's ridiculous.
And
Ridiculous.
I did look up David Lowe versus Joey Rickard.
Yeah?
Yeah. For batting average, Rickard has a 245, Lowe has a 226.
Ooh.
Actually, that's
on-base-
better than I expected for Lowe.
Yeah. For on-base percentage, Rickard has a 307, Lowe has a 329.
Okay. My man Lowe's getting on base more.
However, Joey Rickard has scored 21 runs, whereas David Lowe has only scored 5.
Well, that's because David Lowe's on the Phillies.
What about defensive war?
Routes. Could you tell me who runs the better routes? Because I'm
No.
tired of hearing about routes.
What about Woozle Wuzzle?
I think I might be able to find the Woozle Wuzzle.
Oh, something stupid like Bart would say. Bucka bucka or wuzzle wazzle. Something like that.
And those are all my stuff.
All right, good stuff, intern. No corrections. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we were good.
No, he started with that word correction. The player from Seattle
Yeah.
that we were all confused on.
That's when I knew the 2015 season was over. You guys tried to drag it on for a few more weeks, but there was no coming back from that no-hitter in Seattle.
You
last
tend to
year.
overreact to
So,
one game.
all
right?
right. So you saying the season's over after this performance
No, I
in
said
Houston?
the only bright side is
All
it's not June 1st yet.
I thought the intern did a
So-
pretty good
so-
job with Iwakuma. Can we just have the intern every time Josh mispronounces the name? Bert and I won't say a word. We'll just wait till the end of the show, and the intern can just read off a series of names that Josh got wrong.
I don't think that's fair.
That's
We shouldn't do that.
That would be so hard for me to restrain myself.
Yeah, you would need to show some self-control there to let the intern handle it all at the end. But we'll keep the intern busy back there. All right, boys and girls, you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, on the Twitters, at Section 336 The Show. You can follow us on the Instagram, at Section 336 The Show.
No on either of those, but you're good.
Yeah.
Section 336 show.
I don't think anyone has looked for the Twitter handle and could not find it because they typed in the. Right? That's probably didn't happen. Where someone's looking for the Twitter handle, they typed in the show instead of show,
I don't
and they
know.
couldn't find it. I'm just saying it probably hasn't happened. So you guys, Section 336 show. Can we also get a Twitter for the show just to cover our bases?
If you're on the Orioles Reddit, I saw tonight some guy has taken our Trumbo shirts and turned it into wallpaper for your iPhones and iWatches.
Cool.
So if you would like that.
Did they give us an HT?
They made a comment that that he was inspired by our shirts.
Nice.
So something like that. But it's our exact artwork.
By the way,
That's not called inspiration.
I had to unfollow one of the local Baltimore Twitter people.
Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, Matt does the block.
I do blocks. I love blocks.
I should have done a block. I just did a hashtag unfollow. Choice language they had in response to my prediction 3 weeks ago when I said some other Orioles reliever is going to give a late-inning dong to David Ortiz.
I retweeted that, yeah.
That was getting lots of retweets yesterday afternoon.
What did someone say?
F you was exactly what they said to me. And then they tried to come back saying they were joking. I can't take a joke. I'm like, well, how about I just unfollow you and we call it that?
Oh, that's a block. That deserves a block.
Yeah. Well, they're unfollowed.
That doesn't
so I
even
won't
make
see them
sense
anymore.
what you weren't saying anything controversial.
The tweet was like 3 weeks ago,
and it was funny,
and it was
right.
right,
And it was right.
true.
It was
right.
on point.
Hey, 336ers, Zany Berardi always right.
If Asher Tolliver struck out Ortiz, it would have been different.
Then I would have some choice language for Bert for being wrong.
Then tweet me F you. I don't care. No, I mean, if you know me personally and you think you're going to be joking, you can tweet that at me and I'll go, ha ha. I don't know this guy. So don't tweet that. If you've ever met me personally, you can tweet that at me and we'll have a nice little chuckle. I don't know you, guy. So don't tweet that at me. It's not funny.
I don't know. You see, people on Twitter think they
do
can
it
say
again
whatever
and
they
you'll
want.
get blocked, even if I'm not even following you anymore, jerk.
Twitter, man. Everyone thinks everyone's friends. We think we're all buddies.
I never met this guy.
Never had a drink
He's
with
never
you.
come to Buffalo Wild Wings and shook my hand.
It wasn't 33W Camden, was it?
No. I'll tell you after the show.
I only blocked that guy down in Australia. That was my block.
That guy doesn't bother me
Unless
he says F you to me, and then he's.
I don't think you would say that.
Speaking of Buffalo Wild Wings, we're going to be back there in a couple weeks.
Thanks.
Tuesday, June 14th, the Arundel Mills location, which we had a great time at the Arundel Mills last time we were there. So come out there and join us. The Orioles are playing who on June 14th?
The Red Sox. They're in Fenway.
Oh, boy. Maybe you don't want to come. But we'll be there.
And that might be a special show because that could be our last show altogether for a while.
Oh, I think we have
try to squeeze one more in.
We're going to get one more in studio, I hope, before you go to Africa. But it's your last time before Matt has to Africa to say goodbye before he kills himself on some island.
It's possible.
50-50 shot, so you got to come out.
So, you should come. You should come.
And, of course, we'll be giving away tickets. And maybe another. We gave away an Iron Manny. Maybe we'll give away another.
Ooh.
And Buffalo Wild Wing sauce and gift certificates.
It's worth your while to come.
And Arundel Mills is like the middle of everywhere. Everyone is close to Arundel Mills.
Go to a movie after our show.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Just in the parking lot. Some advice in the parking lot.
Right.
Bring a friend.
And walk zigzag.
Yeah. And always keep your keys clenching your fist so the key is pointing out in case you need to jab anybody with it.
Sure. Who hasn't done that?
Yeah. Just Arundel Mills can be dangerous.
Yes. Come join us. Bring your mace.
That's right. All right, boys and girls. Thanks for listening. As always, you can follow all of us on Twitter. You can follow me at Section336. You can follow Bert
at Bert Rohde.
You can follow Josh
at Josh Soroka.
And of course, you can follow the intern. But I wouldn't recommend it. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go Oats.
Section 336 is a affiliate of 24/7 Networks. Find Section 336 on UtahStreetReport.com.
And we're out.
Yeah, I forgot that one.
Yeah, you did.
So I gotta see. I think that voice effect might not be set up to record over here. I think it might record straight. In which case, I can just pull from the YouTube. But it's something I didn't think about until we were well into the show. What confused me was I was on the button for this. I believe you were at the game. Yeah. You saw me on my knees for a good time. Good thing I can pull from YouTube and get the effect.